So herein lies Walnut Street, where that white car is going west on Walnut, and also 17th Street. Excuse me. Interestingly, you know, with a bless you going on there, during September, this street from 15th, and 15th is a couple blocks down there, all the way up to 18th, which is just one block up there, in addition to 18th Street from Locust, which is down there, all the way up to Chestnut, which is up there. Those streets will be closed to cars on Sundays only during September. If you see it on a map, it looks like a cross. And someone pointed this out to me. They're like, it looks kind of like a cross was laid down in front of Rittenhouse Square. So I'll show you Rittenhouse Square, and I'm wondering if it's symbolic to certain people. Of course, we have all kinds of religious turmoil in the Mideast. You know, there's always fighting in the Mideast. I grew up with my mom saying, oh, they're fighting again. So, although this time around it seems a little extra something something. Although, I will say this, when I was in college in 1990, Tel Aviv was bombed, and that was a major all-out problem during like 89, 90, 91, that time period. So I remember it well. I had a roommate who was Jewish, so it was up for discussion and all that other stuff. So they have the garden open today. We have, it's a Saturday. We have the farmers market in at Rittenhouse Square on Saturdays. So no cars, and I'm guessing no parking also, will be allowed on these streets on Sundays throughout the month of September. And September is symbolic to certain people in, say, farming. Just saw someone who reminds me of my mom a little bit. She works at VCA Cat Hospital as like the, you know, receptionist, appointment maker, secretary, all that. But anyway, there's a similar something going on there, even though they don't look exact. But in September, of course, as far as farmers go, I guess it's a new harvest, a crop cycle. I don't know. It's considered fall by most of us who look at four seasons and stuff like that. But throughout September, every Sunday, there will be no car traffic whatsoever on Walnut between 8th, actually they're going all the way to 19th, I think. So from 19th, which is halfway through Rittenhouse Square, back to 15th, and then along 18th from Locust to Chestnut, which looks like a big old golden cross when shown on the map, at least on the news. Why would they, what's going on? I also have theories about what started in 2011 and how bad. I experienced something that was so crazy. It's designed to make someone look crazy or paranoid. And some people would jump on that real quick. Oh, do you think you need a therapist? Are you paranoid? Are you paranoid? And it's like, actually, there are people actually doing stuff. You don't see it today. Is totally more normal. It's hard to explain. People do orchestrate. They will create skits, and they will behave or mock all around you. This city was filled with such demonists. I don't know what to say. I normally am not like overly religious, but I did wonder like what it was. So here's where the cross would be. This would be where the cross for September would be. So who was laid down here and persecuted? And dare I say, and I know it takes a lot of balls to say this because I wouldn't say it if I didn't experience something so heinous. It is way over the top. And I am talking, I was persecuted. And there are people who know it. I am luckily sort of upheld by people who continue to pay me to do some work until the problem is resolved. There are people who know that a problem needs to be resolved. It's a lot quieter because of the pandemic. I also moved for 2.5 years to Gainesville, Florida to live with my mom and aunt. But the behavior of those involved, well, we have a white car and then we have gray, but then a whole bunch of black cars. Does that mean anything to you? We have a lot of people in black and white. So that is not, this kind of activity actually did not, except for the dressing of people. We went through a year where everyone were like olive and black. So either they had an olive top and black pants or shorts or dresses, or vice versa. And I was like, what's up with I live in black? That didn't bother me as much as other things that were very, very personal. I was made very well aware that people knew my private business, and I would be online trying to figure out, like, how do people know stuff about your life unless they were in the bathroom showering with you? That's how bad that is.
I didn't say that. Those are awesome.
So some of the activity stopped because I had to start reporting it to the CIA, the FBI, Homeland Security, and everything else. FAA and TSB and everything. I wasn't really educated to do stuff like that before, but I had to start doing it because they might try to fix things up in the sky. I don't love the court system, and nobody wants to be dragged through it. Now, if people could just behave and not be complete murderous morons. My life was threatened the fourth Monday of January 2011. I believed more than 1,000% that it was the last night of my life. That will never happen again, do you hear me? And what will also never happen again will be people trying to imply or even make my dad believe, well, maybe Sharon has a mental illness since it runs in my dad's side of the family, not my mom's. That will never happen again. In fact, the people who are mentally ill, I would argue, would be the people who participated and played the game. These are very sick people who have very low self-esteem. I hope they get the help they need. See how you turn the tables? Now, I was a nice, quiet person, and the assumption would be, you know, low self-esteem or this, that, and the other, or whatever. I was actually persecuted. And I'm not afraid to say it. Oh, look, there's an airplane. You can't see it from here, but it looks pretty low to me. I wonder if it's going to hit the Barclay. Can't really see it. I don't know which way it went. There it is. So this is one of the wealthiest buildings, I guess, in Rittenhouse, the Barclay. Why are they flying? They often fly northwest over Rittenhouse. Okay, wait. But when I first moved here, planes didn't fly that low. I thought there was like some sort of rule or something, but in recent years they've been lower and lower. It's like, that's crazy. I know there's a low ceiling today because it's cloudy and stuff like that, but might they use it to pick up data? How does data transfer from phones? You know, could it be used to expose gang stalking, orchestrated harassment, orchestrated stalking, organized stalking? No one loves the word gang stalking because there was so much counter intel and people trying to make people seem psychologically unfit. It does happen. It does hurt the brain, but you logically know, like, that is crazy, I can't believe. And it's almost like you've transcended and you can see the matrix. You're like, I don't know how that works, but that is whack, but it could drive someone to go postal. Right, Tesla? So I began wondering, and I was forced to become kind of a conspiracy theorist. This really wasn't my path, but I was forced there. I began wondering about